Hi everyone! Random time that I'm going live today. Oh, one of those days. I had my vaccine yesterday, my second vaccine, which was a little bit unexpected. It's a long story. Anyway, I thought it was fine. I hit a bit of a wall about 1 o'clock today. I've had an afternoon sleep, like an old nana. And now I've got my coaching call tonight and Start Your Happy Side Hustle at 6:30. And then I'm going out straight at 7:30 to the pub quiz. And my eldest son has brought 5 of his mates round and they all need pizzas cooked for 5:15. So, hi, Amanda. So I am just doing this while I can on the basis it's always available on catch up. Hi, Cassie. Lovely to see you. So I know StreamYard plays up here, but someone has said, hello, Julie. I just want you to know that I can't see your name, but hello, person. There should be a link to click that says just facebook.com/StreamYard. You've probably done it before. It's probably one of you that has said, I have done this millions of times, so apologies. I know it can be a little bit glitchy, but if you haven't done that, or just when you're commenting, stick your name in the comments so I can say hello to you. Hello, Julie. Hello, Michelle. You're all around at 4:45. I didn't know if anybody would be around at this time, but I just didn't want to miss out and not do the Happy Side Hustle show. Hello, Samantha. Has anybody else had their second vaccine? I'm feeling like superwoman. So I know I've got to wait, I think it's 3 weeks, isn't it, before I'm fully protected. But the exciting thing is that in just about 3 weeks' time, in fact, 3 weeks tomorrow, I'm going on my holiday just to Centre Parks, like just a UK-based holiday. But if you've been to Centre Parks before, you'll know that, and it's rammed, like there's not a single lodge left. So this is one that's been kind of pushed out. It was booked for like last May, and then it was booked for February, and anyway. So, but I want to really enjoy it. I want to go in the pool and everything. And I just think I'm going to feel so much better when I'm 3 weeks past my second vaccine. I know I love Centre Parks month. So, you know, I love Disney, right? But so I'm doing 2 things this summer. I'm going to stop waffling in a minute when Cheval joined. I am going to Centre Parks for a week as well, and normally go to Centre Parks for like 5 days, like a weekend or a midweek. But I had 2 Centre Parks holidays that just kept getting pushed forward and cancelled, so I just combined them. So we're going for a whole week, which is really exciting, because if you're familiar with Centre Parks, normally you're arriving and you're packing your schedule, and then you're like having to pack the car again. It feels too quick. So that's going to be lovely. And we've got a lodge that's like right on the lake, so it's just it's going to be, if the sun is out, it's going to be amazing. Like I can't wait. And it's going to be chilled because we don't need to kind of jam pack every day. So just, I think probably just what we need after this. Anyway, the point is I'll have had my second vaccine 3 weeks before, so I should be as protected as I can possibly be at this point. Karen, you're on the commute home from the day job. Well, hopefully I can make it go a little bit quicker for you. Marianne. StreamYard just does not get on with you. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, just put Marianne after it. You've had both jabs. Well, I don't know. I was going to say it's good. I feel it's good, but let me know what you think. You felt ill for days, Amanda. I know. Well, see, I only got it last night at about 4:45, so we're almost 24 hours. As I say, earlier today, so I was fine. Sore arm, but apart from that, I was fine. And then I had a bit of a strenuous morning where we're taking stuff up to the dump, and I'm like doing a 1 hour walk every day, and I left it a bit tight for time. So I had to sort of, because I was getting an Amazon shopper delivered, so I had to like really fastly walk it in the heat. Anyway, when it came to lunchtime, I just thought, and then I was burning stuff. I would get rid of my old accounts because we cleared out the shed. Anyway, there was just a point where I thought, actually, my head is just absolutely pounding. So as I say, how do we sleep? I feel a lot better, and I'm hoping that's it, but I don't know, because you know there could still be some after effects to come. I hope you're feeling better now, Amanda. It's rough. I went to this drop-in clinic yesterday, which has just opened after I finished work, and I had to bomb it in the car to get there in time. But it was really slick. It was run by the army, so I got my injection from an army person, which was like quite fun. The first one I got was done in just a local health centre by a nurse. So it was all very, very well organised. I felt like when I was driving in, so much I miss it, it was like going into Disney World. So if you've ever been to Disney World, you'll know that you go in the entrance and there's someone standing going, turn here and park in here. And that's what they had at the vaccination centre. So I'm like, oh, it's like going to Disney World, except you're just going to get a vaccine. Your second one wasn't as bad, Hazel. Yeah, you had a rough time after the first one, didn't you? I'm really glad to hear that. I've heard, again, there just doesn't really seem to necessarily be a pattern. I've heard people saying first one was bad, the second one was bad. People saying they've had no reaction, and people having bad reactions to both. So Gabrielle, I looked at Bluestone Resort. I am going to talk about something to do with side hustles in a minute, but I was trying to book a weekend for some neighbours. So there are 5 of us, and we go away every second year. And we've got the savings account anyway. We were supposed to go away last year, obviously couldn't go. Supposed to be going this year, obviously can't go abroad. We don't want to, it's too much hassle. Doesn't feel like, and in Scotland, they're really like not encouraging you to go abroad. So we actually looked at going to Center Parcs and getting one of the like exclusive lodges with the hot tub and all, because we've got all this money sitting in our savings account because we'd normally be going abroad. But it was totally, so it's like the only weekend we can do is the middle of July, and it was totally booked out. So I Googled Center Parcs alternatives, and actually Bluestone was the first one that came up, Bluestone and Ribby Hall. And I checked both of those, but no availability, none. But yeah, it did look amazing. It did look, oh, I'm glad you're better, Amanda. Hi, Lynn, nice to see you. Okay, so today I want to talk about what to do if marketing is not bringing you joy, if you're losing your mojo a little bit because you're not loving the marketing side of things. So actually, I've just been on a call with my own coach, and I was chatting through, I was just telling her what I was about to talk about here. And I have got, look at this, I've got loads and loads and loads of notes that we brainstormed together. So I'm going to pull together something that's going to help you. But in the meantime, I just want to say, right, marketing is a necessary evil. If you feel that it's, if you're not enjoying it, you can't, if you don't market your side hustle, it remains a hobby. And that's totally fine. Like, you don't have to have a side hustle. If you're finding that it's just too much, then you can just keep on with your hobby. You don't, at any point in this journey, you can go, do you know what? I'm actually going to step off for a while, and it might be something I'll come back to in the future. But for those of you that really do want a side hustle, have set your vision board and you're like, right, this is what I'm going to make. This is what I'm going to do. And exciting news here. So we're waiting on, it's like the Eurovision Song Contest. We're waiting on one more result, but my eldest son today just got, so he was sitting 4 hires this year. He had to get a B and a C to get into his second choice. He has to get 2 Bs or an A. So basically he needed to get a B and a C minimum out of 3 exams, plus he's doing an apprenticeship, to get into his uni of choice. And today he found out that he got more than those grades, which is really exciting. So it's all like very complicated this year because we have to wait until the SQA officially send the letter on the 10th of August, but we know that they're not going to change the grades. So that's exciting. But what it means is I have to find some money to fund his halls of residence and give him a bit of a kind of start in his student life. So I know that I definitely have to do that now by September. So yeah, it is great news. We're so excited. He's optimistic. I think I've maybe told you this before. He comes out of every exam and goes, I think that went really well. And his results don't always reflect his optimism, but I never want him to not be optimistic. I love it. But anyway, this year, it turns out that his optimism was well placed. And we're still waiting on one result. So it is possible he might he might have more than he needs, which means there's a different course that he was looking at, but he's not sure. Anyway, it looks like it's all. Thanks, Samantha. It's been a stressful time, and they're leaking out the results to the kids. So my youngest son is sitting hires as well, and out of his 5 hires, he's had 2 good grades. He's got 1 that's not going brilliantly, but he's got 2 more to get. So if the other 2 go fine, then it means he's got a really easy year next year. So let me just see what happens. Anyway, the point of telling you that is that I know that, so I can't go. I'm not going to bother marketing my side hustle between, and not bother, that's a judgmental word, but I'm not going to market my side hustle between now and September because I have to find $6,000, right? I have to make it because I have to make that's my goal. So I have to do it. However, what I don't want marketing to do, and I can see for some people it's becoming like very unjoyful. So what I want to say to you is if there is a part of your marketing, first of all, you don't have to do all the things, right? Find a way of marketing your side hustle that brings you the most joy. So if you go, well, none of the marketing things bring me any joy, go, well, which one is like the worst and which one is the best out of the marketing things? And then have a look at, can you either, so when you decide how you're going to market it, then have a look and go, can I either delegate some of this or could I batch some of this? So when you're batching some of your marketing, what you can do is you can use a scheduling tool so Facebook Creator Studio is, if you're marketing Facebook or Instagram, that is probably the best one to use. It's not quite as slick as using one of the paid ones like Buffer or Hootsuite or Social Bee. There are a number of them that are great and allow you to kind of cross-post across other social media as well. But using Facebook Creator Studio, Facebook will give you a little bit of a bump in the algorithm because it's owned by Facebook and it's not an external piece of software publishing into Facebook. So it's not raw. I do use Buffer. So I use a combination of them. So I'm not saying never use any of those other things. It's certainly better than not doing anything at all. But if you're going to make the choice, if you haven't invested in any of those kind of paid softwares, publishing softwares, then just go Facebook Creator Studio and just block out an hour a week. That's doable, eh? And then make it fun. So go, right, I'm going to do this every Sunday night. As soon as the kids go down, I'm going to do it between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, whatever the pattern is in your house. And then you go, okay, how do I make it fun? Well, you can do your social media scheduling in front of a film, or you can put on the Happy Side Hustle playlist if you're in the Hive, or you can burn a candle and you can create just a lovely, relaxed, kind of meditative atmosphere, whatever feels like a treat for you. Combine those two things. In the last Happy Hustle show, we talked about stacking things. Do that, combine those two things. So don't make it like I need to sit at my desk at 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday night when everyone's in bed and my husband's watching telly or whatever. Make it fun. Work out how you can schedule your social media, but also be doing something fun at the same time, listening to music, watching something, whatever that is for you. Alternatively, schedule your social media at a time when you're going to be doing nothing anyway. So yesterday, I went to the clinic, the vaccine drop-in center, and I fully expected to have to wait hours because I thought, right, well, this is just open to everybody in Lothian, which, is a very big area. And I expect to wait hours, but I was fine with that. I just wanted to get my vaccine. So in the waiting time, now it turned out it was very, very slick and efficient. I didn't have to wait hours at all. But my plan was that I was going to schedule my social media while I was waiting in a queue. So that's perfectly feasible to do as well. So think about how can you make it work for you and how can you make it not feel unjoyful, not a word, not an actual word, but do you know what I mean? So your side hustle has to be about joy. And I know the creation part probably brings you more joy than the other bits of having a business. But unless you're visible, it's a hobby. So it's about going, I don't need to do all the things, but out of the marketing things, which ones are my favorites and which ones, how can I create a joyful routine? The key is consistency. The key is consistency in any marketing. But if you can time block at some point, so I think an hour a week is plenty to be scheduling. You can add in posts as you go as well. But at least if you were scheduling, say, 2 posts a day on a Sunday or whenever you choose to do it, then you've got that consistency. And then during the day, you can add to your stories, so you can add your stories on your Facebook business page, on your Instagram account, on your personal profile, wherever you're actually promoting your business. So one is time block, block it out and schedule. But the second one is, can you delegate, right? So it didn't only occur to me, because this has been kind of an on and off pattern for a while, but both my kids have been studying really hard for exams, but now they're both done, right? So my eldest has left school. He's got to go back in for one half day, where they're going to have an assembly and pipe him out. But that's it. Basically, they've said, don't come back, you're done. My youngest is going back next year for 6th year, but because they're catching up all the kids, they're focusing on the junior school, the kind of S1s to S3s, I guess. So the S5's going into S6, which is what my son is. They're not really doing anything. They've uploaded some work into Google Classrooms, and for the next 3 weeks, they're just sitting, chatting, and it's a very difficult thing for the government to manage, the school to manage, etc. So, but that's fine. It is what it is. But I know that Finn has 3 weeks of just sitting about doing nothing. So I said to him, okay, I need some social media posts created. If I give you the instructions, could you do that for me when you're sitting in school doing nothing else? And I will pay you. And unsurprisingly, he is extremely keen to do that. My eldest son, who is going to go and do IT at university, is now he's outside with his mates at the moment, but for the next couple of days, he's going to be just like waiting with nothing to do. So I have got some website updates that I am getting him to do. Now, I know not everybody has a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old in the house, but is there anyone that would actually love to do one of your marketing tasks or some of your marketing tasks that you could delegate to? And there might not be, but think carefully. Is there a friend? Is there someone that would actually enjoy that? And remember, no matter what age, if you've got kids or grandkids, no matter what age they are, well, not no matter what age they are. If they're 1, they probably aren't going to be much help. But even a kind of 8, 9, 10-year-old is probably a whiz on social media. Probably shouldn't be, but they probably are, or could get to grips with it really quickly. So is there somebody that it hasn't occurred to you that might enjoy helping you? Is there a friend's daughter? Is there somebody who's looking for something to put on their CV that could say, I handled the social media for a local business? Because that's what you've got. You've got a local business. When my youngest son is doing the Duke of Edinburgh award, and so he's completed his bronze. He's just finishing his silver at the moment. And when he started, so part of that is volunteering. And when he started his volunteering, he was only in for, I think, 2 weeks before lockdown, and he was volunteering in a place where there was a lot of older people. So, the whole thing closed, and he wasn't able to go back and finish that. So the Duke of Edinburgh, company, it's not the right word, the Duke of Edinburgh, I don't know, body, don't know. Anyway, said, look, we can be a bit more lax than we usually would on volunteering. So I had him doing some things with my business. Now, he's so lucky because we were all in lockdown. He had to stay in the house with me anyway, but I was able to give him some things to do, and he was able to demonstrate skills. So just think about, is there a way that you could help somebody else by offloading something that you don't want to do? Like, I know my youngest son is not, so having been through it with what I call my practice child. I don't know if anybody has kids, and like the first one is always like, what are we doing here? And then when you bring the second one, you totally understand the system. So last year, when it came to the personal statement for uni for my eldest son, we were like scrappling about going, what are we going to put on this? What sort of things are they looking for? For my youngest child, I'm going, right, make sure you get this experience, make sure you get that experience. So like handling the social media for a local business is a brilliant thing for someone to do if they're applying to uni to do anything to do with digital marketing or computing IT. Do you know someone you could help who could help you back? Let me see. Hazel, your strategy is chatting to people and creating nice images, which are two things you like to do so it doesn't feel hard work. Yes, you're great at chatting to people, Hazel. That's working brilliantly for you. You're double tasking just now, trying to make a pasta dish for dinner and watching this. I love double tasking. I need to put my son's friend pizzas on for my son's friends in a few minutes, so I'm gonna have to go. I've tried once a day on Facebook and Instagram, but have no comments or interest. So Lynn, what you need to do is, so it depends how many followers you have on Facebook and Instagram, and you need to be going out and creating those connections. Oh, Hazel said Hazel is the whiz at Instagram specifically, but at everything, at creating connection. And it's worked so brilliantly. Hazel's such a great example of how going out there and having conversations and creating connections brings people back into your world. So that's lovely. That's a really kind offer, Hazel, and Lynn, she'll sort you out. So remember, when you're posting on your Facebook or your Instagram, if you don't have the audience there, it's not going to, so it's like, it's like marketing in a room where there's nobody there, or there's only a couple of people there. And sometimes the people that start off like in our Instagram and Facebook are just our friends and family. And eventually, they're like, if they were going to buy your stuff, they've bought it. So you're not, unless you're building and growing the number of people that are on your social media accounts, then you're not going to get the reach that you're looking for. But as I say, I'm going to come up with a bit of a step-by-step structure for you to do that. So I will, I will be back with something that will help with that. But in the meantime, Hazel is the girl. Okay, I'm going to go. To reiterate, the key message is you need to do something marketing-wise, otherwise it's a side hustle. It's a hobby, not a side hustle. But work out, what can you do to make it fun? How can you batch things if that feels easier and more comfortable? Or who could you help by delegating something? So think about it. Instead of thinking about, oh, I want to ask somebody else a favor, who could you help? Who could you help? Because if my son didn't have me, he wouldn't have very much on his uni personal statement, and therefore he might not get into uni. Can you help someone in the local neighborhood or in your family who needs something on their personal statement? Can you help them to develop their skills? Because it doesn't really matter who does your social media posting, as long as you're on there as well. You don't have to do everything. So have a think about that one. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. If you're in, start your always get tongue-tied in this. Start your Happy Side Hustle classroom. I will see you on Zoom in there at 6:30 tonight, and I will be back on Monday. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.